man, airspace
Makes sense, man.
before we so rudely got kicked off talking about airspace and who owns it.
Who owns the water?
And who owns the
Not
water? I don't know. That's.
I mean, I guess.
I just hate to see stuff like that flaring up because, I don't. You think about it, that is going to be super, super expensive besides the resources that China has, manpower and money.
You think about the trades and imports, exports.
Yeah, it would screw up a whole lot. So that would be a bad move, I believe, on either part. I would think especially on the U.S. since we're already dumping a ton of money over into Ukraine and, who knows where else.
And then Americans do not love to make things in America. They love outsourcing it out. The rich people love outsourcing it so they can make more money off of it.
So and there it is.
So we should get them involved to calm that down.
Yeah. Why don't we get some of these manufacturers involved so that they can calm that shit down? You're right. It's a great idea.
Get the money. They put those people in office to protect us, allegedly. So
is that what that's about?
They're supposed to protect us. Okay. They're supposed to protect Americans who don't have the money, the power, and the prestige.
I hear you. I hear you're supposed to. I heard the supposed to part. That's what I heard. Hey, let's move on, man. Down the line. Oh, what is it? Ooh, they call him Dr. Rape.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's what I said. Especially when I came across this, I said, you got to be kidding me. This guy is just...
The allegations against Dr. Ji Allen Cheng are so monstrous they could make a horror writer blush. The Queen's physician is currently facing charges he drugged a woman using an unknown liquid and recorded video as he raped her in his apartment.
It sounded like a parent's worst nightmare, something out of a movie.
Now, Dr. Cheng is being accused of a second rape. Only this time, the alleged victim says she was his patient, and it happened inside New York Presbyterian Hospital, Queens.
I am scared. I no longer want to go to hospitals.
We'll call her Jane, and Jane spoke exclusively to the I-Team and Telemundo Investiga because she fears what happened to her might have happened to others. It was June of 2021 when Jane was a 19-year-old admitted to the hospital in Flushing. Her medical records show she needed her gallbladder removed, but the day before surgery in a hospital pediatric unit, Jane says Dr. Cheng unexpectedly injected her with an unknown drug. Immediately after the injection, she fell asleep, and when she woke up, the doctor was no longer in the room. That medical record also says she felt extreme pain to her lower abdomen.
It's not normal to be injected and not know what you were injected with and wake up in extreme pain.
Jane's attorney, Nicholas Liakis, says his client and her mother reported the suspicion something criminal had happened. They say they demanded to know what the doctor injected and even pointed Dr. Cheng out in an impromptu lineup at the hospital.
They put me in front of like 4 doctors and they said, identify who it is. I said him because he was there standing up.
So in the hospital, they did kind of a lineup of doctors.
They did.
And she pointed at who?
At the doctor, Dr. Cheng.
What does that tell you about how seriously the hospital was taking the complaint from this patient?
It tells me that at least the nurse would have believed something was wrong, because that's something that you see in a police station, not in a hospital.
New York Presbyterian declined to answer questions about the incident, but in a statement to the I-Team, the hospital said the crimes committed by this individual are heinous, despicable, and a fundamental betrayal of our mission and our patients' trust. We are appalled and deeply saddened by what these victims and their families have endured. The hospital said Dr. Cheng was fired in December of 2022 as soon as the DA revealed the criminal case. But it's not clear what, if any, action the hospital took in 2021 after Jane reported being drugged.
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't know, man. Innocent, I don't know.
No, I mean, the hospital did absolutely nothing, even though, they had some allegations. But now you got a couple of allegations and apparently some DNA evidence, but whatever. And he took videos.
Yeah, they got to see. You got to have the DNA. The videos are concrete. That's the smoking.
That was stupid, wasn't it? Then he had videos of it all. What a sick ass.
Yeah, dumbass. I hope he's an asshole of the week, because if not.
Oh, no. There's better assholes out there.
This is plain stupid.
Yeah, he rates right up there.
Yeah, this is plain stupid, man. I'm like, why would you? I don't know. It's plain dumb, Tim. I've never. If you're gonna do some dirt, don't videotape it. Don't tell it. The best way to get away with. Don't listen to me, people. The best way to get away with something is to do it by yourself and say nothing about it at all to no one.
You're right.
That's the only way. I'm like, if there's no video, no confession, no DNA, you have nothing.
You think about how long. Yeah, you're right. I mean, even if you're hooked up with a partner that you've known for life, look how many of those people have rolled over on their friends and thrown them under the bus just to escape whatever.
Yeah, I'm listening to the biggest serial killers, the most known serial killers got away with killing multiple people because they stayed to themselves. They didn't talk to anyone. They eventually got caught. Some of them never got caught. But that's what you do. Don't tell no one.
I think you're right on that one particular point when you talk about somebody that may be a serial killer, a serial rapist, whatever the case may be, is, yeah, they are kind of a recluse individual in some sense.
Yeah, and that's how you do it. But that's just plain dumb. He's asking to get caught. It's wrong for doing it. And I'm just saying that he's still innocent to proven guilty with the second young lady. I'm not, because I'm not. We got to see because, it's probably going to be 10, 15 more women.
Come forward now.
I think I was in Queens 3 years ago, so I don't know.
Something happened you want to talk about? Wave. You want to talk about it on the show here, Larry?
I'm just saying the Me Too wave. And there's always guys involved. Well, I'm waiting for some. You know what? I'm going to say this, but women sexually harass men way more than men do women. But you never see the guys. Me too. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more women that step up and say he did some dirt. So, but he's evil. He's wrong. If he's guilty.
To your statement, I would say what I believe is that women are more easily able to use or say something that could be or make a motion that's sexually harassing as compared to a man and get away with it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think there's really a big difference. I think women are just able to get away with something like that.
I'm severely handsome, man. I got a couple of muscles.
Yeah, women, I'm sure the women are all over you, Larry.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. I'm like, stop, baby, no. I'm like, chill.
I mean, I don't know. Babies. You think about taking maybe some jiu-jitsu, karate, or something?
Well, they got these ugly classes where you can walk around looking ugly, and then women won't be attracted to you. Around looking like this.
That'll work. I hear you.
Ooh, no.
Hey, anyhow, speaking of people that think they're all pumped up or whatever, and I guess. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. This was a pride protest. Yeah, that went a little bit wrong because they had people on both sides of the issues, or shouldn't they have this particular celebration of Pride Month in a school, and it got out of control.
Melvin Jen, good morning. That clash over Pride curriculum here at the Glendale Unified School District headquarters, and there were hundreds of people that showed up here in the parking lot to demonstrate. Take a look. Sky Fox was over the scene, and you can see the moments when that crowd became violent here. Dueling protests outside the Glendale Unified Board meeting that led to law enforcement declaring an unlawful assembly. Meanwhile, inside, the school board was voting on reconsidering Pride curriculum, highlighting LGBTQ plus issues that has been in place since 2019. Glendale Unified says it follows California law, which states that every person on campus has a right to be referred to by their preferred pronoun. Meanwhile, parents and community members on both sides showed up to demonstrate.
They need to stop asking little children what they sexually identify as. Children are not sexual beings, nor should they be.
I think it's really important to be here to stand up for all children and not be exclusive. We are an inclusive community.
The school board later did vote unanimously to declare June Pride Month and move forward with the curriculum. Advocates say LGBTQ plus representation in school studies is important. Opponents say they don't want the content to be introduced to children. Police, meanwhile, say many of the protesters here at this demonstration were also present during a violent exchange between demonstrators outside Saticoy Elementary in North Hollywood last week over a scheduled Pride assembly. And back out here live, Glendale police say 3 people were arrested here in the parking lot yesterday, one of them for allegedly using pepper spray. Reporting live.
You know?
Okay, for one thing, all those people need to have their ass at work.
I believe so.
And then secondly, I'm like, you don't want Black history in schools, but you want LGBTQ type things circulating around your school.
You know, I
Really?
don't, yeah, I would have to think, and we've had this discussion before, there is an appropriate age that you can introduce that particular topic of discussion with a person when they reach adolescence, right?
In college.
And, you know, and to your point, you know, but we're not going to teach anything, you know, about, you know, racial history and inequality in this
Yeah,
country.
they're just going to skip Black history and just forget it never.
Well, not just
never
Black
existed.
history. I mean, you don't learn, what do you hear about, you know, what we did with the indigenous, what we do to the Chinese, any of it.
No, they
I
don't.
mean,
No,
it's,
I'm
I mean,
from
you know, come
Black,
on, listen, racism doesn't stop just because you're Black.
No, it doesn't, right? But I'm saying too, though. I'm just saying Black history because of the
I agree. I
struggles that
understand
we
where you're
had
coming from.
here
Yeah,
in America. So it go, you know. But you're right. It doesn't stop when you're Black though. But you just can't surpass ethnic history in America. You know, you just can't surpass the Irish, the Asians, the Africans, the Germans, everything. You know, you can't do that. But you're gonna stick LGBTQ. What makes them special? Why are you telling this?
and what separates them? And you've got a good point.
I'm like, what makes them so special? Not saying I don't like them. All I'm saying is, if the LGBTQ are so strongly, they feel so strongly about their little small section of people, they need to start joining in with other groups and organizations to build those up too, the same way they're trying to build those up. Because I guarantee you, when the Asians was getting shot, when the Black people getting drugged and hung and getting shot, they wasn't there.
You know what?
They weren't there supporting those NAACP. They weren't there supporting the Asian. They weren't there supporting Black Lives Matter.
To your point, and what I was gonna, it's when they mentioned it in that video where, you know, the same group was involved in another protest that went south, and I thought to myself, you know, that doesn't sound all that much different than when you talk about these guys that were in the back of the U-Haul, right?
Yeah.
Traveling around causing problems at BLM functions, right?
Yeah, man.
So you know, there always seems to be, I understand wanting to be an advocate and to have a voice, but to sit there and perpetuate violence like this incident we just watched and the incident that happened, with the U-Haul boys, you know, that gives the whole movement a black eye.
And you know, even this too, they already see that the tensions are very high on this. This can be bigger.
It is now, right? Because
can be bigger than the civil rights movement because of how the fighting and the stuff is going on, and they're trying to force this upon children, not adults.
Right.
They're not going to the colleges. They're not going to
Right.
having big seminars. They're not going to the KKK rallies or the Black Panther rallies or the NAACP rallies and movements. They're not going to the big organizations and saying LGBTQ has a voice. They're targeting kids in schools.
And right, how do you have, and I've seen it, where they'll have a young child, not even into puberty yet, he could be 10 years old, you know, trying to express, you know, he thinks he should have been born a girl. Or how do you?
How do they know?
You don't know that. You're too young to really come to that type of a decision. Intellectually, you're not even mature enough to make that type of decision.
No, I'm like, and they trying to force it on these kids. I'm like, that's the last thing you need to
Right.
force on a child.
Yeah,
Once
even
you
to get
force-
that
once you-
started, you know.
Yeah, once you force integrity on the child, once you force work ethic on the child? Won't you force respect on the child, honor? Won't you force children not bullying each other and taking up for each other and loving each other? Won't you force black kids and white kids loving each other, Hispanic kids loving black kids and white kids, Asian kids loving Hispanic kids, Germans, Irish? Won't you force the love on these kids instead of trying to force LGBTQ? Yep. You got a decision. You can, if you want to be a girl, even if you're a boy, you can be a girl. Who the hell cares?
Well, you know what is I find interesting about the whole thing, and you'll see it in all these different right-wing media broadcasts, and they keep talking about everything's gone woke, woke, woke. Well, you know, and I sit there and think, you know, woke originated with the deal up in with Trayvon Martin, right?
Right.
And that's where it all started. It had in BLM. And now all of a sudden they keep throwing all this other stuff, now we LBGQ, the age, and everything's getting piled up and watered down. So now anything they don't like is woke. And it was interesting. I'm trying to think what the heck they came out with. Some Lego piece, a Lego man, and the guy was on TV making fun of it.
Put some breast on him?
Yeah. Something crazy, and they're like, "Oh, now they've gone woke." I'm like, no,
man, when you
stop
need
it.
To be walking.
Stop it. That's the problem.
These people, you need to be woke in your own mind for one thing. Think for yourself, and then won't you be woke in your family? Mothers and fathers need to be woke to respect themselves better, treat themselves better. They need to be woken up to treat their kids better and teach their kids better. Let's stay woke in the family and then start trying to wake up everybody else.
Right. Isn't that the conversation you'd rather have with your daughter? If, Dad, I think I might be gay. Rather than having somebody, fill her head with some crap.
That's not what school is about.
Right. That's a family conversation that, the child should be comfortable to have with you if that's the fact. But,
yeah. You go to school to learn the piece of your history. The history don't count. And to learn other things.
The 3 R's, right? That's what I was told. What is it? Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Oh, that's the 2 R's and an A.
The 3 R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah. I'm like, man, they worried about some LGBTQ. Teach these kids some pre-law. Make that part of the curriculum where they can learn how the law works so that these kids don't make these mistakes, or real economics, how they can teach them that stuff when they're younger. Mm-hmm. So when they get to high school, they can already be more advanced with economics and with law. And then there you go with that. That's a lot of things you can change.
Yeah, I would rather wait till you start spilling that stuff, any of that kind of stuff, until a child is mentally mature enough to process it.
Yeah, you teach like pre-law, economics, high school. Okay. Now, before that, you're looking at the 3 R's, the 2 R's, and A. Is it arithmetic is an A, ain't it?
Yeah. It always has been. I just you never heard it like that. That's just the country in me saying the 3 R's.
I still don't understand it. Who cares? If you want to be gay, be gay. Why are you making these? Listen, Tim, if you say, walk down the street and say, Larry, I'm gay, you coming with me? I'm like, no, I'm not coming with you. No, if you want to be gay, be gay. Don't bring me with you. Just be gay and let it alone.
Yeah.
If people want to join you, let them join you. Don't bring people with you and force them. Leave them kids alone, man. Damn.
Yeah, I think that's the trouble, is you're causing too much attention to it, and you're creating a unnecessary attention.
It's negative attention. And leave the kids alone. The kids are different now. It ain't like the way we grew up. They have a lot more to worry about. A lot more.
Man,
more. Leave them kids alone.
Isn't that the truth,
Adults, who cares? Adults, grown. If you're grown, you make your decisions. You make bad decisions on you. All right? If you allow somebody to push you around and bully you, that's on you. All right? You make a decision, end up going to jail, going to prison. You become somebody punk. You turn gay in prison. Yes, you're a mistake. But that's adults. So I don't care what an adult does with their lives. Leave the kids alone.
There it is. Speaking of making mistakes and wondering what the heck is... I don't think this is a mistake, but let's check it out. It's saved by the doorbell.
It started when the homeowner's security camera alerted him to this. He says a stranger trying to force his way in through the front door, but the owner didn't just call police. He raced back to his Staten Island neighborhood. And tonight, News 4's Jackie Beckford walks us through what happened next.
Saturday morning, a security camera captured this man at the front door of a Midland Beach home. I got a doorbell alert from my Sloman's video camera.
The homeowner, who just wants to be identified as Chris, was heading to Brooklyn and says his camera is often triggered by passing buses.
Sometimes I don't even check.
But boy, is he glad he did this time, just in time to see the stranger rattling his doorknob, then heading toward his backyard.
Immediately, I call 911. I tell them, hey, I believe somebody's trying to break into my home.
He also told them something else.
Yeah, I had told the police on when I called 911 that I was going to engage with him.
And when Chris found the alleged burglar,
I saw him standing in my backyard using my bag to put my belongings in it. Yeah, it was crazy.
He says the man, identified as Seth Flint, had gained access to his house via the back door.
I snuck up behind him. We got into a little scuffle.
That little scuffle leaving Flint bloodied and bruised, seen here on Chris's cell phone video picking up his shoe. Chris says that's when Flint fled down the block.
I was following him for about 2 blocks.
Then turned Flint into police. Though overall crime is down in the city, burglaries in the 122 precinct are actually up 41% so far this year compared to last.
I've had my car broken into before. It's just like
you're just fed up.
Yeah, it's just an invasion. You know, it just feels like somebody's violating, your property.
Proud of the one-bedroom home on Midland Avenue he bought just over a year ago, Chris says he's ordered even more cameras to protect it.
My little bungalow is going to be the safest house on Staten Island.
Whoop that ass. See, there you go. They need to start teaching kids how to protect themselves. All right?
Wasn't that funny?
Go back home and whoop the shit out of somebody. Use security cameras. Watch your cameras. Teach them new technology methods and stuff like that. We need to bring these kids up on par so they can be better police officers or better technicians or fix cameras to make people feel safe and protected. That's what we need from our children. That guy needs his ass whooped.
Yeah, I was happy that that guy turned around.
He didn't use a gun.
Huh? Well, he didn't use a gun, but he whipped his butt. You could see his eyes on wall.
Yeah, you don't need no gun. It goes to the gun thing. You don't always need a gun to protect your stuff. So.
And the guy looked like in the video where you seen the guy with the bag and stuff, he looked like something wasn't quite right with him.
Yeah, it had a little size on, but you gotta understand, a thief, they're not really dangerous. Okay, a thief. That guy was just, you got somebody with a gun that's doing some real serious shit, but thieves are only gonna try to get your shit while you're gone. A sneak thief. So the last person I worry about is the thief. Giving me problems because usually they just gonna run or skedaddle or whatever they do. Even if you jump on them, you can take out a thief.
Yeah, well, luckily the guy didn't have a gun on him or a knife on him or anything else, and everything ended up cool, and the guy was able to retain his property back without clown.
Yeah, New York, baby, New York.
It's amazing. People are bold. People are bold as hell anymore. So he
probably knew that guy wasn't there. He probably been watching that guy's house and then say he ain't.
Had him scoped out. Possibly.
Yeah, and he probably got some mental health issues or whatever. But now he's gonna have those issues in jail with a tender ass.
Oh, at least he'll have 3 hots and a cot.
He gonna lie. Yeah, man, I should have to whip this dude. I won, but you don't have to get on this dude. I won though.
Hey, let's move on and see what happens. And you know what? We'll bring things back to Ohio for you for a minute.
Here we go.
I'm telling you what. One thing you don't do in Ohio is cut in line at Kroger's.
It's ridiculous anymore.
On Friday, Kroger shoppers continued about their business as investigators dug into what happened during a fatal fight. Columbus police say a fight started inside the store over someone cutting in line. That's when they say the store's armed security guard told them to leave. CPD says one of the men went back inside the store to pay for his groceries, and when he came out, the other guys involved in the fight tried to rob him at gunpoint. Columbus police say one of the accused robbers fired off shots, then the security officer shot, fatally wounding one of the alleged robbers.
This killing's got to stop.
About 10 shots were fired in the parking lot, according to Columbus police.
A lot of innocent bystanders many times get shot, and I sure hate to be one of them.
Hey, you got cameras, you got security. I know they even have patrol guards.
In addition to armed security, Kroger also has portable security cameras, which police say recorded the whole incident. Scott Mueller used to work at this Kroger and says he is concerned for his safety.
Well, who ain't nowadays? See, it's just crazy anymore. You always got to look behind you and watch what's going on.
This isn't the first time a Kroger security guard has been involved in a fatal shooting. In January, a security officer at the Kroger on Soldano Boulevard shot and killed a man after the customer was involved in a fight with a woman.
I was already planning on coming here today. When I heard that, I had second thoughts. And I'm just fed up with all these shootings.
Amen. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they were just trying to shoot somebody, and they just, that's so stupid. Now we're back to the gunplay.
Back to the gunplay again.
That's domestic.
Where do you go anymore where you don't have the possibility of getting shot?
Well, if that happened on Howard, you get shot in Texas. I'm gonna tell you that.
You can't go to parades, you can't go to church, can't go to school, can't go to the grocery store, can't go to your neighbor's house, can't pull in the wrong driveway.
No, you can't do anything.
Guns, people, guns. Jeez, you can't go to a funeral, can't go to a graduation. We talked about that at the top of the show. Come on,
and then
man.
why were you robbing them? They're just being assholes.
And who knows what the exchange was in the store. They didn't get into that detail. But it all started because they cut in line.
Then they said they were going to rob them. It could have just been talking shit like, I got a gun too. I don't know. I don't think it could have. I'm speculating. That's a domestic issue, and it was just sad that someone had to get shot.
I was just disappointed that everything turns to guns anymore. Doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. All my advice is watch your ass, people. Take a look over your shoulder everywhere you are. My number one advice is first thing I go into a place is I look, where's the exits?
Yeah.
That's honestly, I do. I'm like, besides the front door, whatever, where's the other exits around this damn place in case some knucklehead goes off?
And another thing people should do, let go of that petty crap. Like I always tell my wife, she'll get mad at someone over something like, for example, going through the parking lot, people they'll walk by real slow as hell. She'll get mad. I'm like, man, chill out. All right. They just let them make it. Even if somebody cut me in line, they'll do it. I'm like, let them make it. I'm like, that's not that big. A lot of people just angry and frustrated, and I know a lot of them, and they just want to women. A lot of women do it. No, some guys do it, but I know a lot of women. I've seen a lot of women I've encountered. Oh, they short. You cut in line, or I've seen people blow the horn.
I understand. I hear you.
A lot of guys that I've had some stuff, they'll kind of like wave off, or they might look, and then I'll look at them or whatever. But women, they get mad. You can forget that.
Women hold a grudge forever. Now
I tell my wife, I'm like, man, let them people make it, because if something pop off, they're gonna hit me first.
That's right. Hey, you know what? I can't leave Texas out of the mix.
I saw that.
I know. Well, Texas, and it's a tax debate over real estate. So you might think it's a good thing. Check it out.
Eliminate all property taxes, you have no money left to do anything. This is a joke.
Zero is what we want you to pay. It's no wonder that people started to get on board. But that also means the state would lose at least $73 billion a year. That's more than the entire budget surplus this year, and it's money that school districts need.
Eventually, you're going to have to make up that money. The most logical method would be to raise the sales tax.
Sales tax, which is on many of the things you buy right now, is 8.25%. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says that would need to go as high as 19% to make this work.
And that's not going anywhere in the legislature, and the people will never approve it.
And if it did pass, UTSA Policy Chair John Taylor says it would hurt low-income Texans the most.
You're going to the store and you are barely making ends meet at $20,000 a year. You're going to be feeling that much more, especially combined with inflation.
Meanwhile, Abbott and Patrick are still gridlocked on exactly how they will reduce property taxes this year. And Patrick continues to insist his plan that uses earmarked money for homestead exemptions is the way to go.
We want
What do you think about that, Texas resident?
Okay, I feel property taxes do suck, but I don't want to pay no 19% on no sales tax. So they about to figure something out. But if you're a veteran, you get 100% disability, you don't pay property taxes.
There's already a loophole.
Period. Yeah, if you're a veteran, that's the 100%. You don't pay property taxes. But property taxes, they do suck.
Yeah, sure they suck.
That's part of your, am I right? It's part of your escrow. That should be
Yeah, right. It's based on the value of your home. So they'll look at, let's say, the average value of a home in your neighborhood is $130,000, and so you'll pay a percentage of the tax, whatever it may be, 3%, and that $3,000 for the year is your tax, as an example, maybe.
Yeah. So, and that's the only bad part about that too. I remember when I did have my home before I sold it, my property taxes were skyrocketing every year. And then I'm like, come on, man, they built the Texas Ranger Stadium. They built the other stadium over here in Arlington. They kept building all this crap. And then the tax dollars, the money they came from, it came from taxpayers. Right. And they had to add some of that was added. I'm like, if I'm going to pay all these taxes for these stadiums, I should have some kind of access to them, and I have to pay $500 for a ticket.
Or $50 is to walk around the place. You can't. You have to pay to get in and take a tour of AT&T. You have to pay to get in and take a tour of Texas Stadium.
The stadium, the new one for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, you mean the garbage can? Looks like a garbage can.
Yeah, $35 to park right there in front of it.
Oh, well, it's $50 at Cowboy games during games. $50 in those the lots right there inside the gate, right up at the AT&T. I think it's cheaper to park across the street at Walmart, isn't it?
It's cheaper just not to go and look at it on television. You're already paying cable.
Well, I know a lot of people do that. They'll go over to Walmart and park and then watch it on the Megatron.
You know what I'll do? Only time I've been to a game, I have free tickets, and then I've been to a preseason game. That's it. I never will pay those outlandish amounts of money to go see a football team that's getting paid all their money to play with balls for a living. All they do is play with balls. I know some prostitutes that get paid way less than that to play with balls.
You know, it was kind of nice when we were broadcasting out at Texas Ranger Stadium for a while. And that, that was kind of cool because you got to see, the team practice and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about the only time I've ever been in it because naturally we were working. So
that's a grown ass man playing. So I don't, I don't want to see no grown ass man playing with himself or playing with balls.
Okay, anyhow. Boy, that almost leads right into
I'll wait for your reaction. I said, you're going to get it sooner or later.
Wait, let's bring up Larry's favorite part after that. Balls. Oh, that's not it. Jeez. How about the asshole award? And this unique award goes to a wonderful woman out of Ocala, Florida, 58-year-old Susan Lorraine.
Assault. Now, this is a story that has gained nationwide attention over the past couple days, and it all started with an ongoing feud between the woman arrested and the victim. You see her here, AJ Owens. She is a mother of 4. It all boiled over when, according to investigators, Lorenz threw a roller skate at Owens' 10-year-old son. That mom then knocked on Lorenz's door multiple times. That's when she shot through the door. Owens died after being shot in the upper chest. Now, Lorenz told investigators she acted in self-defense and claimed Owens had been trying to break down the door.
Wow. Isn't that insane or what?
That's some bullshit. I'm mad. I can't even joke about that,
man. No, that's straight out. What the hell?
You assault the kid,
right,
and then shoot the mama in the chest.
Yeah, because mama's pissed, and I would be pissed. I mean, what are you going to do? Your kid comes home crying. What happened? The lady next door threw my skin and hit me. You're going to be what? Gun. Right? What?
That's what I would do. I'd go over there and knock on the door and say, hey, man, come outside. Let me talk to you right quick.
Yeah, we need to squell this, right? But no. She's out there, and next thing, pow.
For one thing, you already know you threw this. What if it was a cop? I guarantee if it was a cop, she wouldn't have shot.
Mm.
She knew that lady was out there. She got a peephole. She got ring.
Yeah, well, and her defense is that she felt threatened because they'd had incidents in the past.
Because she knocked on the door. She felt threatened because you threw a roller skater at the other woman's kid, and she came over to confront you, but you feel threatened. But you already assaulted the kid. The kid should feel threatened. The mother should feel threatened. She just knocking on the door. Even if she's knocking on, like, bitch, answer the door. Okay.
So anyhow, so this lady, this Susan Lorraine's 58-year-old. She's on manslaughter charges and some other stuff.
She should be embarrassed. So she embarrassed her whole family, embarrassed herself.
Acting that way?
The neighborhood, the community.
And what's that say?
Just say that people are just cowards.
People are off the chain. That's exactly what that's what we've been talking. People are off the chain.
People hide
blame it on COVID.
Yeah, people hide behind guns or the police. They'll do something stupid. The weak people, they'll do something stupid they shouldn't be doing. They get called out. The first thing they want to do is get a gun or call the police when they're wrong.
Mm.
So that's so sad. That's messed up.
We had an incident where some kids that did something, and I just approached them and said, let's